Gentlemen, many men believe that pleasuring a woman is all about technique, about how you move or how long you last. But the truth is much bigger than that. Real pleasure comes from creating an emotional, psychological, and physical connection that turns sex into a complete experience. And that's where most men fail. They focus on performance, when what truly matters is understanding. Let's start with a basic but often overlooked fact. Female desire is contextual. Unlike men, who can go from 0 to 100 quickly, women need the right atmosphere, an environment where they feel desired, safe, and valued. That's why planning moments of intimacy isn't cold or unromantic. In fact, it sends a powerful message. You matter enough that I set aside time just for you. It clears away distractions, stress, and daily frustrations, and it allows desire to grow naturally. Next, you need to understand her body. Too many men don't realize that the clitoris is not just a tiny external button. It's a complex internal structure with as many nerve endings as the penis. The biggest mistake is thinking penetration alone is enough. The truth is, most women need external stimulation to reach orgasm. Knowing this doesn't make you less of a man. It makes you smarter, more attentive, and far more capable of creating lasting pleasure. But don't think it's only about mechanics. Female pleasure is deeply psychological. When a woman feels seen, understood, and desired for who she is, her body responds more easily. A genuine compliment, a tender touch, or even the way you look at her can sometimes do more than any rapid or forceful movement. The third idea is essential. It's not about you, it's about her. Too often, men approach intimacy as if they need to prove something, to perform, to show off. But sex is not a sport with medals. It's a dance. And when you give generously, the energy always comes back to you. Hands, mouth, voice, toys, these are not competitors. A vibrator is not your enemy. It's your teammate. When you accept that, you break down barriers and open the door to deeper connection. The fourth principle, slow down. Speed is often the enemy of female pleasure. A woman's body opens like a flower. It cannot be forced. The slower you go, the more intensity builds. Foreplay is not just a warm-up. It's an essential part of the experience. Massage, lingering kisses, shared breathing, all of this nourishes the connection and prepares her body for deeper pleasure. Fifth, lubrication is your friend. Too many men see lube as a sign of failure when it's really a sign of intelligence. Mental arousal does not always equal physical lubrication, especially with hormonal changes, stress, or age. Refusing lube is like refusing oxygen for a fire. It frees her from worry about pain, allowing her to relax and fully let go. The sixth truth, desire differences are normal. In every couple, one wants more, the other less. The danger is in silence. If no one speaks, resentment builds. Instead, shift your perspective. Intimacy is not only about penetration. Sometimes it's a caress, sometimes cuddling, sometimes giving without expecting. By redefining what intimacy means, you discover many ways to connect beyond the obvious. And finally, communication. Too many men wait for women to just say what they want, but many women have been conditioned to stay quiet, to avoid hurting feelings, or to avoid seeming demanding. It's the man's role to create a safe space, ask questions without judgment, listen without defensiveness, thank her when she shares. That's how trust is built, and with trust comes freedom, the freedom to experiment, to open up, and to go further together. And never forget the last step, aftercare. For many men, sex ends with orgasm, but for many women, the most important part is what comes after. Holding, kissing, gentle words. This proves you weren't there just for performance, but for connection. And connection is what makes her want to come back to you again and again. Gentlemen, one of the most powerful truths you can learn is that sex is not just a physical event, it's a psychological journey. For many women, desire doesn't start in the bedroom. It begins hours earlier. It begins with how you treat her during the day, with the tone of your voice, with the way you notice her, and with the respect you show outside of intimacy. When a woman feels safe, respected, and appreciated, her body is more likely to respond with trust and desire. That's why I often tell men, foreplay doesn't begin when you touch her body. it begins with how you make her feel long before. A thoughtful compliment, a gentle kiss on the forehead, helping her relax after a stressful day. These are the sparks that set the fire long before the lights are dimmed. Now let's add another dimension, emotional synchronization. Great lovers don't just focus on technique, they tune into their partner's emotions. This means slowing down enough to read her breathing, her movements, her small sounds, the subtle ways her body communicates yes, not yet, or more. These are green lights and red lights written directly on her body. When you learn to read them, you stop guessing and start connecting. Another overlooked key is variety. Many couples fall into routines, same position, same sequence, same rhythm. At first it feels safe, but over time it becomes predictable. The female brain craves novelty, not extremes, but small variations. A change of location, a slower pace than usual, a new position, or introducing a toy can reignite curiosity. Variety is not about impressing her with tricks. It's about reminding her body and mind that with you, pleasure never feels routine. Now let's talk about the mental load many women carry. Too often, she enters the bedroom still thinking about chores, work, children, or tomorrow's tasks. If you want deeper intimacy, you must help her put those worries down. That can mean creating an environment free of distractions. Phones away, dim lighting, music that calms, maybe a warm shower together before. When her nervous system relaxes, her body can finally open to pleasure. One more layer, verbal connection. Many men underestimate the power of words. Gentle, encouraging, and sensual communication can intensify arousal in ways touch alone cannot. Whispering how beautiful she looks, describing what you're about to do, or asking if she likes it right there. These words enter her mind and amplify the sensations in her body. Remember, arousal is both neurological and psychological. Now, let's step back. Why is all this so important? Because too many men judge themselves only by their own performance, how long they last, how hard they get. But here's the truth. Women remember the way you made them feel much more than the exact details of what you did. Did she feel safe? Did she feel admired? Did she feel like the center of your attention? Those answers will determine whether she sees intimacy with you as a chore or as something she craves again and again. And this is where I want to give you the biggest reframe of all. Intimacy is not about perfection. It's about presence. You don't need to know every technique in the book. You don't need to perform like an actor in adult films. You need to be there, to pay attention, to enjoy her enjoyment as much as your own. That, gentlemen, is what separates average lovers from unforgettable ones. So here's your action plan. Start by making intimacy intentional. Schedule time, not because it's boring, but because it proves she matters. Educate yourself about her body, especially the clitoris and how pleasure really works for most women. Shift the focus from your orgasm to hers. Trust me, your satisfaction will multiply when hers comes first. Slow everything down. Patience isn't weakness. It's the key to unlocking deeper pleasure. Use lube, normalize it, embrace it, and watch how much it improves comfort and sensation. Embrace variety. Small changes keep intimacy fresh and exciting. And above all, communicate outside the bedroom with honesty, kindness, and curiosity. Gentlemen, when you live by these principles, intimacy stops being stressful and starts becoming joyful. It becomes a place where both partners are free. Free to explore, free to relax, free to feel desired and safe. And that is the foundation not only of better sex, but of a stronger, more resilient relationship. So let me leave you with this. Don't chase perfection, chase connection. Don't measure your worth in minutes or inches. Measure it in the depth of trust, the freedom of laughter, the warmth of touch, and the joy of shared pleasure. If this video helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more evidence-based guidance because sexual health is not a taboo. It's part of a healthy, confident, vibrant life. And remember, your partner doesn't just want you to perform, she wants you to connect. And when you understand that, you unlock not just better sex, but better love.